Hi guys, welcome to my channel where we talk about everything from tech to films and all the fun stuff in between. So the WWDC 2020 has just been finished, and in this video let's look at all that cool and fun which has been announced at this show. And if you aren't familiar with what WWDC is, this is the Apple's worldwide developer conference where they announce new software and other updates every year. Due to coronavirus lockdown, this year's WWDC took place completely online. So let's look at everything cool that has been announced at this conference. Just before proceeding, guys, please do subscribe to my channel so I can continue making fun and informative videos like this for you. First up is iOS 14. There have been some cool updates to iOS, some which have been really waiting for a long time. So let's go through them one by one. First up is App Library. So there is this new home screen option which organizes all apps automatically into these nice big folders. And you can get to it at the end of your home screens. You can also hide your multiple home screens and just use the App Library instead. And then when you get to the app library, you can search or browse through them alphabetically, like how you do on your contacts list. Nice, and it keeps your apps organized and also prevents you from having that multiple home screen after home screen. We'll just have to see what kind of organization algorithm which Apple uses to organize your apps. Next is widgets. Yes, finally you can have an iPhone home screen which does not look like the one which was introduced back in 2007. So you can just tap and hold the widgets and drag it onto the home screen. There are different sizes and you can choose which size and what information goes onto it easily by using one of their menus. I'm really excited about this one as it kind of adds that missing element to those home screens which haven't changed since its conception back in 2007. There is also an Apple curated widget called Smart Stack which will change widgets based on the time of the day or even location. Next is Picture in Picture. Guys, I'm chuckling at the fact that I got a bigger screen iPhone which is totally non-one-hand friendly, but it will help with features like this because it gives you that bigger screen to layer apps on top of each other. So with this picture-in-picture feature, you can layer the video same as how you do it on the iPad on top of your apps and keep working in the background. You can swipe it to a side and get the video out of the way, but still keep listening to audios. I do this sometimes just when I'm listening to a podcast or a review or a technical detail or something like that. I love to keep it playing in the background and just keep it out of the way. Next is Siri. The visual interface has changed, so Siri now pops on location and does tasks without hijacking the entire screen. Also, it gets smarter, finally like Google now. So you can ask it more questions and get answers back instead of it saying, shall I do a web search on it? Then there is a Translate app, similar to Google Translate. So you can now have conversations in any language without knowing the language. And then when you turn the phone to its side, it'll show the side-by-side dialogue in two different languages. So you can really have full-blown conversations with someone without even knowing a single word in their language. Next is Messages. It is getting conversations and groups, something like WhatsApp. There is a real nice way to allocate pictures to your group and also an easy animation to see who has recently responded. New emojis as well, so there are a couple of them. And then Maps is also getting updates with few more countries getting more details like look through and the flyby view. Plus, it's got full support to cycling routes as well. Then Carplay. First, it allows you to change the background so it can match better with your car's decor or lighting. And then Digital Car Key. This allows you to use your iPhone as your car key, and this gorgeous BMW 5 Series will be the first car to support it. Okay, phone unlocking, Tesla did this, but what is even cooler is that you can share this phone key via iMessage. This is really brilliant. So you can actually create restrictive driving profiles if needed and then share the car key via your iMessage. This restricted driver profiles definitely helps if you're lending your car to your teenage kid. Next is app clips. This is like the shortcut of a full app. It just shows a clip which is just a part of your app, so you do not have to install the full app. Example, if you want to buy something from the Nike app, then search for a product, get the app clip and buy it right away via that clip and Apple Pay. So you don't have to install the full app. It's a nice little shortcut. We'll have to see what app developers do with this. Next is iPadOS. They're calling it iPadOS 14 instead of iPadOS 2, probably to keep it consistent with the iOS numbering system. You'll get all the updates which iOS 14 has introduced, but here are a few exclusive ones just for the iPad. Most of the main apps now get a new sidebar menu. This makes sense, especially when you have a bigger screen. It's good to have your menu at the side, which will provide easy navigation. Next, calls, just like notifications, will show up on the top instead of taking over the entire screen. This feature will be available for your iPhones as well. Next is Apple Pencil. This has got some cool updates. You can now draw shapes and it gets converted into the right shape, making it look nicer. You can also select copy, move, delete, same as how you do with type text. And this makes it interesting to use the Apple Pencil to take notes. And then there is an option called Scribble. This is really cool. You can handwrite onto any text field and it will transcribe it into type text. For example, you can write onto the address bar in Safari and it transcribes into type text. This is really cool and probably will add value to that Apple Pencil even for all non-graphic design related users. Next, AirPods gets an update and I'm really glad about this one. One complaint which I had about the AirPods is that if you pair with one iOS device and try to open the lid in front of another iOS device, it recognizes it, but it doesn't pair with it. So you have to go into the control center and then select AirPods to pair. Now, this was a little annoying and I even mentioned it in my in-depth AirPods review video. I will link it down below if you wish to check that out. So now with this new update, this feature has been added. So you can now seamlessly switch between devices. I am really happy about this one. And then the AirPods Pro gets spatial audio as well. This is really cool. And it will make that already decent sounding AirPods Pro sound even better. And then just analyzing the tiles which Apple has presented, there's one interesting little feature which Apple didn't talk about. And that is this one, which this tile points out to: set default email and browser apps. Finally, you can change the default apps. I remember people asking for this since really iPad and iPhone 1, and it's finally happening. Don't think Apple likes this feature that much, but yeah, they are giving it away in iOS 14 and iPadOS 14. Next is WatchOS 7. The Apple Watch is also getting some cool little updates to make it even more useful. First up is more complication options onto watch faces, so you can really customize it as you like. And then new watch faces with this cool tachometer watch face as well. And then you can share your watch face with others. If that watch face which has been shared has got a complication which you don't have, then it'll give you the option to download and install the app. Third-party manufacturers can really benefit with this option. Like Nike, for example, can make a custom face and let you download which has got complications related to running or cycling or related. And then yes, bike routes are coming to maps as well, so you can get the complete information about the bike route, the time it takes, and put points of interest, etc. on the Apple Watch as well via the Maps app. And then finally, sleep tracking is coming to the watch. It can prepare you before the bedtime and then track your sleep pattern, including your breathing rhythms, etc. This is going to be one of the key features which was missing on the Apple Watch. And I think with this, Apple has really completed a whole circle of what a smart watch should do. That is, until they try to figure out how to measure your blood oxygen levels and other stuff. I'm pretty sure Apple is already working on that, and I can only be excited about the future of the Apple Watch. And then now the Apple Watch also recognizes when you're washing your hands, and it kind of motivates you to wash for 20 seconds, playing cool little music and animation, and tells you that you have done a good job if you washed for 20 seconds, or if you stop in between, it tells you to continue washing. Really cool little features, and that makes the Apple Watch even so amazing, and it still is my gadget of the decade. Next, the TVOS also gets a few little updates with Siri and search, and a new show called Foundation written by the legendary Isaac Asimov. This really looks cool. The Mac OS also gets an update. The new version is called Big Sur, and its design is streamlined to match the iOS. I love that Safari widget which shows all the tracking code which a website uses when you visit it. And then the big final thing, as expected, Apple is moving away from Intel chips and introducing their own A-series chips into their Mac lineup. Surprisingly, they are using that A12Z Bionic chip which is in the iPad Pro 2020. I've just unboxed that iPad Pro 2020 on my channel. I will link that down below as well if you wish to check it out. But that iPad Pro is a serious performer, and that A12Z Bionic chip has got some insane multi-core and graphic performance scores. So it makes sense that Apple is trying to move away from Intel so that they can have better control over the processor, the hardware and the software, and give us a better device in total. It would be interesting to see how those Macs or MacBooks would perform. And Apple says that it's a 2-year transition period, so this is going to happen over time and not instantly. So that's all the interesting bits covered, guys. Hope you like my video. Please do comment down below and let me know what your favorite feature is. And please do subscribe to my channel, guys, so I can continue to make fun and informative content for you guys. And as always, thanks a lot for staying with me until the end. I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.